What does the moment mean to you?
Doug, have you seen me these last couple of weeks? I mean, that's really it. It's just being drafted to 2004, being traded to 2004 to 2014 becomes another emotion. 2014 to 2024, another emotion. And now trying to put a bow on that is just, it's crazy.
So we're going to go to Josh Lewinberg and then over to Eric Koreen.
Josh Lewinberg, TSN. Congratulations, Vince.
Thank you, sir.
I was talking to Glenn the other day, and he was telling me a story about your pre-draft workout, that you came in after some travel delays from the previous stop but blew everyone away. What do you remember from that workout, and do you remember what your initial impressions were of the city and of the organization?
Well, I mean, I do remember it. I remember not thinking my workout went well at all because of everything that had, in essence, gone wrong from at the Sky Dome at the time, my room being canceled, my room service being late at the Westin, to getting there, not having a practice uniform to practice, and to just trying to figure it out. And as a, potential draftee, you come in and you're trying to be perfect. And with all of those things going on, I just wanted to be perfect. So when I missed a shot, I was like, oh man, they're gonna probably think I can't shoot the floater or whatever the case may be. And I put all that pressure on myself because I wanted to show them who I am, and I wasn't just an athlete. And that's what I remember most. So I remember draft day. I knew it was somewhere in the highest 3, possibly 8. And when the Raptors were up to draft, I remember Craig Neal coming to me in college and said, hey, you might as well come work out for us, because if you're available at 4, we're drafting you. I was like, okay, cool. And of course, we know Tracy being Tracy saying that I'm gonna make sure you get drafted. But when they said for the 4th pick for the Toronto Raptors, Antoine Jameson, I was confused. And the first thing I thought was, maybe I did have a terrible workout. That's what I remember. And obviously getting drafted 5, going up, being traded, I was like, all right. And then hearing Butch Carter and Glenn saying how great the workout was, I had no idea, just because of the pressure you put on yourself. And I would tell a young guy today, just go in there and be yourself. They know what you can do. They now just want to see if you fit into what they have and how you fit into what they have already. And now, obviously, at the tender age of 47, if I could go back and do it, I would go back in there and just, have a workout stress-free. I don't want to say carefree, but just go be yourself.
So we're going to go to Eric, then Scott, then John, then Rob, then Kayla.
Vince,
We'll see where we are.
Eric Koreen, The Athletic, congratulations.
Thank you.
You just said to start, I'm not sure what to expect.
Mm-hmm.
Is that from you or from the fans or
From
anything
me.
else?
From me. The moment. I've never been in this moment before. We've never been in this moment before. We've seen it on TV, but we've never been in this moment before, so I don't know what to expect. So let's experience it together.
Do you have a favorite jersey ceremony retirement of somebody else that you remember watching that really stands out to you?
Not right now. My brain can't think right now. Obviously, I'm a Dr. J fan, so naturally, watching, I recall bits and pieces of him being retired in New Jersey at the time. So, anything Dr. J, I'm all in.
Thank you. So we're going to Scott.
Scott canceled the score. Congratulations, Vince.
Thank you.
You're talking a lot about moments. You're a guy who created so many moments on the court, so many highlights. Do you have a personal favorite highlight when you think back to your time in Toronto?
I don't have one. I'm gonna say obviously winning the Rookie of the Year and winning the first playoff series against the Knicks after being swept and reading what I had to read by a couple of you people in here. I thank you, because that was motivation. You know, it was great to be there the first year, to go through the experience, wanting more, and people asking for more of me. And going through what Mr. Jeff Van Gundy put me through with his defense, I was excited to have the opportunity to go against that defense again and to win Game 5 in New York was, and I remember telling it, first person I remember talking to was Antonio. Like, look at us now, we did it. So that's probably one of the best memories.
Thank you. I'm curious too. We saw you recreated that photo shoot with Matt Sundin. I'm curious, like, what you remember about the initial photo shoot and that coming together, and what it was like to revisit that.
Well, first of all, it was coincidence that he was actually in town at the same time to actually make it happen. But what I remember from that day is that, because I'd watched a few. I'd never been to hockey before, but I'd watched a few from practice and just going in, being nosy, curious, and whatnot, and didn't know him, but getting to know him, and just us being young stars, and to meet someone else, the star, we can relate to some of our experiences and whatnot, and to really go back, us walking into the same practice facility, taking the same picture in the same area, having that conversation again now as 40-something-year-olds was pretty cool, you know, to that it worked out that way.
Thanks a lot, Vince. Congrats.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
I'm going to ask you guys politely to keep it to one at a time. My list is growing, and we have limited time. So, no, it's okay, John. It's okay, Scott. Going to John Chidley Hill.
Vince, just on your left, sorry.
Yes, sir.
Sort of backlit. Congratulations, John Chidley Hill from the Canadian Press. You've been warmly embraced by the city of Toronto and Raptors fans this week, but that hasn't always been the case. Around the time of your trade to New Jersey, your few seasons with the Nets, there was some anger, there was some hostility. Given that, how does today feel, and the fact that things have turned around?
So I'm going to answer it the same way I said to Doug. Have you seen me lately? Like, I really don't know what else to say. I feel like my emotions speak louder than words that tells the story. And, you know, it's this appreciation for where we were getting to, and where we are now. And now you wrap that up with a bow. You know what I'm saying? So it's nothing else that needs to be said. Like, if you can't really understand that, I mean, you're walking around on deaf ears and blind eyes.
Thank you. We're going to Kayla next, who is back there. Yep, raise your hand. Jesse, on your side.
It just needs the
3 rows behind. Oh, sorry, Rob. I'm going to go Kayla and then to Rob. Apologies.
That's okay.
Thank you.
Vince, congratulations. Kayla from CP24. Excuse my voice.
I've been there
I know.
just a few weeks ago.
You have your family here, and this almost walk of memories this week. What does legacy mean to you, and knowing that you have made such an impact to a generation of Canadian kids that grew up watching you?
I mean, it means everything, and the legacy is still growing. And I think, once again, this is the icing on the cake. This is the bow to bring it all to full circle. So even for like the Tristan Thompsons and Corey Josephs, Kelly Olynyk's on down, you know, for those guys to feel how they feel and have obviously articulated that for many years, and the newer generation doing the same. You know, this is like the pinnacle for everyone. You know, the good feels, and you know, that's what you know, I want that legacy to be. Whatever we feel tonight.
My apologies, Rob. Go ahead. Thank you.
Hey, Vince, Rob Wong, Toronto Center, right in front of you, right here. You referenced 2014. That night you came in with Memphis and got the standing ovation. I'm curious, what do you remember about that moment specifically, and do you feel as though that night was sort of a turning point with regards to your relationship with Raptors fans?
Yes, I remember. I remember our PR, Dave Haggith, also mentioning is, it's going to happen. You hear it, it's like, okay, cool. But once the game starts, I'm in the moment, get tapped on the shoulder to look up, and I just remember taking a step forward. And taking a step forward and being in my bubble. Sorry. And just enjoying the moment, because that was one of the first times. So throughout those years leading up to it, you see the highlights and videos, and I've enjoyed those moments, but it's something about seeing those highlights in this building, because that's where it was created. And I was asked if I heard, what did I hear? How did I feel? What did I see? I didn't see anything. I didn't hear anything. I was in my bubble. And I think, being honest, to a pleasant surprise, hearing like the cheers, it could have been an arena of boos and I would have still had the same feeling, honestly, because I'd never gotten that opportunity to see a video in this building. So it was cool.
So to the second row here on your right, Vince. Go ahead.
Vince, Ben Carlos from Bleacher Report. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
You've always been the greatest Raptor of all time, in my opinion. And I wanted to know who is on your all-time starting five of Toronto Raptors, and of those players.
Oh, don't do this.
And of those players, who do you believe is the next Raptor to get their jersey retired?
I don't know. I mean, I've said it before, and I had a nice conversation with Kyle today, and I won't say what he said because it's not made for TV. But I mean, obviously, we all know Kyle is deserving. Should he be next up? Will he be? Whatever. He's deserving. And I got an unbelievable message from him today, wanting to be here. And, he's a friend before any of this. And so it's hard to pick a five, man. I mean, I don't even want to go down that line. I don't.
So just to run down who I've got here: Lindsay, Joseph, Vivek, Michael Grange, Katie, Samson, Alejandro, and Tony. Yep,
Oh, there he
Mike's
is.
in
Hi,
the
bud.
back because he's always a late arrival. So we'll go to Lindsay
Sorry.
next. There she is. So Lindsay's third row to your right, Vince.
Hey, Vince, right here.
Oh, sorry.
No
Hey.
worries. Hey, nice to see you again. So you have a mural. Yesterday you signed an airplane, which have you ever done that before? But having your family here for so many of these moments and people flying in from around the world to experience this with you, what's it like to have them see your impact?
It's been fun. It's been fun, especially this little dude. It's like my dad, who's proud. Sorry, man. That's where the emotions come from. Because of that. This lady right here, that lady over there, this grown up I have now as a daughter, this man, these two people here, over here, it's like, I'm not experiencing this by myself. I'm experiencing this with family, friends, strangers. You know, I know it's my day, but you've heard me say it a couple of times, and I'm gonna keep saying it, and you're gonna hear it again tonight. This is our day. And it's our day, however you feel about this moment, what has transpired, or even me. This is our day. And you asked about legacy. More than anything, we are retired today. And I say that because of the emotions, because of the feelings. And I know people saw me grow up as a 20, 21-year-old to leaving it as a 27-year-old and finishing as a 43-year-old. Do that math. It's been emotional. It's been emotions, people having their feelings towards me and about my family and about my friends and whatnot, and towards the organization, to this man here who's always been in my corner, to get to where we are, to get to 2014, to where you see a change and people really saying, well, maybe I overreact, or whatever, however you feel, or not feeling it at all, to where we are today. And yes, it says Carter 15, but with that Carter 15 has been a lot of emotions for all of us. And some of you probably weren't even around, and you're learning a lot about it, but still an emotion. And to this day, your emotion being here is a proud moment, or a cool moment, or a wowing moment, but it's still a moment and a feeling. And I say all those feelings are splattered on that Carter 15 tonight. And it's going to sit down in the arena forever.
Joseph, so second last row to your right.
Hi, Vince. Joseph Cacharo, The Score. You've referenced that surprising and emotional night in 2014. My question is, before that night, did you still think this night was possible? And
no.
how instrumental...
I didn't know. Go ahead, sorry.
And how instrumental might Masai have been in mending the relationship between you and the organization when he got here around 2013?
I didn't know. I've never really thought about it. I've been asked about it. I was like, of course. Like, one thing that people didn't understand, not loving this place, and I know there's a few people here who know, not loving this place, and all of those things that were said were so far from wrong. If I didn't, I wouldn't still have friends here, businesses here, still come back here, but everybody didn't know it. Mm-hmm. But it is what it is. And Masai did have a lot to do it. We sat and talked. He's like, we want to change. We want to make this happen. But there's a lot of other people that deserve a lot of credit. And Dave Haggith, I know he's around here somewhere, hiding. Like that guy, oh, hi Dave. You. That guy. That camera should be on him. Dave has been with me for a long time. And not taking any credit away from Masai, but the words that Dave said to me, the conviction, the belief, the confidence in this day happening, and while we're all here and people are out there, not for a regular basketball game, not because of me, because of him. That's why.
So go to Vivek and then to Michael Grange.
Vivek Jacob, Toronto Life Magazine. Vince, right over
Yes,
here.
sir. Hi.
First off, congratulations.
Thank you.
My question is basically, everyone recognizes that your impact goes beyond Toronto. It's across Canada. And so I'm curious what it was like for you to see a Canadian team go and medal at the FIBA World Cup the way they did last year, play in the Olympics this year, which ironically came, 24 years they went without an Olympics experience, which you remember that 2000 Olympics well.
And your question one more time. Sorry, the first part. Sorry.
What was it like for you to watch those events and maybe think of the impact of seeing, guys like RJ and Kelly Olynyk, who are Raptors now, who have credited you for the impact that you've had on them?
Honestly, what I thought about is Rick Fox, Steve Nash, Rowan Barrett. Thought about guys like that who frequently played on this team, and to see that experience, to get the experience, it's kind of, and I'll give you an example. It was kind of the experience or feeling like Tracy and I had when we were sitting up in the box with 2 minutes left in the game when the Raptors were about to win a championship. It was kind of like those feelings. And I thought about those guys who didn't have that opportunity, but they tried. They laid everything on the line to make it happen and didn't work out. That don't mean they were failures, but they set the precedent of what can happen or given belief to what can happen. And I was just a small piece of the puzzle as far as confidence and getting to see that, Canadian basketball means something, or coming in this building, hearing "Let's Go Raptors," and they can see themselves donning that uniform, like now RJ Barrett gets the chance to do, a hometown hero. So that's what I thought about more than anything, because I'm always asked, did I realize or was I aware of my impact? And I had an idea, but today is not like back in the day. I didn't have social media that I can pull up and after this press conference or after being out there at the mural and seeing people's comments, you can have an instant understanding of the impact you just had 30 minutes ago. I didn't understand that or know until obviously years later when you're starting to hear players, former campers, or articulate that to you. And it's like, wow, like I was a 21-year-old wanting to be the best version of myself. That's it. I just wanted to play. I just loved to hoop. I was that guy always walking around with a little bop because I had music in my mind, wanting to fly around the arenas and dunk on people, which is why people fell in love, which is why I understand why people were sad and had their feelings, because they gravitated to that. They enjoyed it. It was something they can relate to. This guy seems normal to us because he's having fun. He loves to play. And I think that's where the love came from. And I understand that's possibly where the frustration came from, because that guy that we're starting to like is now moving on. But I always told, especially close friends, like, you can have your frustrations, but understand the whole story before you articulate your anger, particularly if you don't really know what was really going on. So that's where a lot of the emotions and good feelings came from, watching them, because I've had great conversations with Jamal. And obviously he's put on social media, and I see it. I hate to sound like an old guy. I see it. I don't reply publicly because I feel, for me, for those guys to even put that out publicly, I wanted to face-to-face say thank you to them. And it wouldn't to put it out socially just for the gratification of you guys to say, oh, yep, he did acknowledge it. I'm okay with it if you guys never saw it. But you heard it from them. That meant more to me. So seeing those guys and having, obviously, conversation after conversation with RJ, about just different things of life and the impact is I think all of these emotions and feelings of now knowing, now, again, putting a bow on the entire experience, not just 6 years, 22 years of back and forth, hee hee ha ha, VC sucks, to congratulations. It's all in one.
So we're going to go to Katie, and then we're going to end with Michael Grange. Started with Doug, we'll end with Grange.
Hey Vince, Katie Heindel, SB Nation, congratulations.
Thank you.
To start today, you talked about wanting today to be when you stay in the moment, today to be something you stay in the moment.
I'm trying.
But I wondered, going back all the way to the community court dedication about a month ago to everything that's happened this week, how are you staying in the moment? Or perhaps how has your perception of the moment changed?
I'm fighting. I'm fighting. I'm in the moment. I mean, that's the easy part, staying in the moment, because, I've never been here, obviously wanting us all to be here to have this moment. And honestly, this is just me talking. Even if a jersey retire didn't happen, a celebration of the time spent is what is, I've always wanted. Always wanted. If it went as far as just the city jerseys with the honor of me on a uniform, do you know how big that is? Like, even if this day did not happen, wherever I am working, watching TV, I will get to watch a Raptor game with a picture of me dunking a basketball on a jersey. And that's equivalent to me like Jerry West, the logo on an NBA sock, on an NBA backboard. That's me now. That's crazy. That's just crazy. So, like, I look at that like a Hall of Fame. I look at that like a jersey retirement. Jersey retirement is icing on the cake. Like, when that came about, I was like, oh man, I've died and gone to heaven. I'm on a NBA, like, this is official. This is not like a pro-am, a summer league or AAU team. This is a National Basketball Association team that will have something with me on it. That is the Toronto Raptors. That has gone from where we started to where we are. Like, I think trying to put that in perspective is probably not the toughest, but fills my heart, and it oozes and overloads because of that. Because, like, I have a great appreciation of all of this, and I think that's why I'm so damn emotional. And I was always taught, and I've always believed in, when you appreciate something and it means something, this is how you react. So I'm gonna react like this every time. Believe it.
Last question to Michael Grange.
Go ahead, Mike.
Vince, congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
A lot of memories, but I'm very curious now that we've arrived at this point. What do you think your relationship will be with this city going forward? And that was, as much as what you did on court was, a big part of what made you Vince back at your peak. And I'm just wondering, do you have a vision of what this might look like going forward?
So, for those who still may feel not curious, my love for this place, outside of all this darn emotion, I was more than thrilled and happy to presented the opportunity to call games for this team. you don't accept a job like this if you don't love being here. And I got that opportunity to be here opening night, and I loved coming to work. And I give Alvin Williams a lot of credit for that, because he was the one that's like, "Man, let's do it." And you guys know how I feel about Al and some of the guys who are here tonight. And outside of just doing my job, man, I was doing the job with my boy. And there again, that was another unbelievable experience, opportunity, and emotion that you asked your question earlier, like, it should be obvious. And sometimes I get people turn a blind eye. I think that's what they say. But I'm gonna keep on showing you. And I've been patient, and I'm gonna continue to be patient, because I understood a long time ago, if you have an appreciation for something, if you love something like you do, and people don't see it, be patient, because it's gonna shine through. And one other thing, to you, sir, I thank you also. And you know why. You came to me and you presented an idea that you knew I was a little, it's not rattle the cage, and you said, hell no, they need to know. And a lot of 2014 is because of you. Truly grateful. And I've never, outside of saying it to you, never said it. I can care less of what people know and how we got here. But today, this is how we got here. You and that man, Dave Haggith. Because I know you put your neck on the line. I know that. I know you've put your neck on the line. I know you've put your neck on the line for me, Doug. It's going against the grain. But you guys felt that it was the right thing to do, because you, what would they say? You knew what was up. You knew me. And for a lot of the people who weren't sure if they knew me or how I feel, I hope you're tuning in today. Because this is me. Signing off.
Thank you, everyone.
This one back, I'll get the second mic.